So hello everyone, Myrmonden here, and welcome to my review of Attack on Titan episode 6. A really good episode, kept the pacing good, you know, and so on. So I think as an anime adaptation for the manga, I think it's a great episode. Okay, look at it, I liked it that way. But then I was like, is the manga good? Like, honestly, is the manga good? Because I remember reading this, and I was like, huh? The first time I read this, I didn't say I do live reaction, but so this is true actually. When I read this manga, I was like, I don't believe this. It's probably just trolling him. Yeah, I was like, I didn't believe what Reiner and Barthold was saying, or Reiner presented in the manga. I was like, what? You know, it didn't make much sense to me. Until like 10 pages later, so we hear how she's going over like, okay, oh, it's probably Reiner and Barthold because they know Annie for some reason. That was like, so it's true? Like, yeah, it's just like, out of the blue, it's like, actually, we are those Titans. You see, oh, we killed your mother. Hey, but I'll be friends with those now? I was like, what? It's just a weird scene there, right? So undramatic that it makes it kind of weird. And that felt an anime as well. It's like so undramatic. And I was like just walking away, like, I love it here and thing. And that scene is so weird. It's like such a weird scene. I don't think it's very good presented, to be honest. You soap here, not the anime, it's the manga itself as well. Because I mentioned this in the well. It's like, would it be much better if Aaron or Armin, because I was overthinking stuff, right? But usually Aaron, because he's like a clumsy fool, right? If he would set it to like, Reiner, oh, your arm's hurt. It reminds me of the curve with Annie. Oh, actually, Armin, that actually was there who said that, yeah. Instead, it's Reiner saying, remember Armin, I almost hurt myself, you know, fighting the female Titan, you know, I'm a pretty good guy, you know, like that thing, yeah. Why did it have Armin say that instead, right? Because Armin commenting on that, he might have read something to her with the blades. Oh no, you know, and yeah, which he did. So that is confirmed now. Obviously, so on that he is, yeah, and so on. And that's like, that would have been so much better. That would be so much better. Same in the manga. That would make so much better. Suddenly he's just like, I am actually the Titan, guys. Like, what? What's happening? Yeah, it never made much sense in the manga either, for that matter. So I think on that level, this episode isn't that good in that sense. Because the main story isn't that good in that sense. Like the twist there. Not the twist is good by itself. I mean, yes, okay. I must admit, I love this twist. When I didn't know about it, they were leaving. I was like, what? They were leaving? I couldn't see it coming. So I'm probably sure some people have live reaction. They were like, what? You know. I must be like, yay, this scene. So yeah, obviously, you know, it's more, it's not bad. I'm just saying it can be better. Right? Just that part I think is a little weird. I mean, I get the random part of the manga, every, you know, side story and so on. So I know he's kind of mental, he's kind of lost it, he kind of thinks, he's so deep on the cover, you know, that he pretty much believes that he's a human with the humans, right? Yeah, he believes he's one of the normal people, right? He's living it too much. And that's why in trips back, Baron was like, he used to be a warrior. No, he's a soldier henshin. Yeah, it's like, nah, okay, he lost the will, you know, he lost our hometowns. And obviously the same hometown is with Annie, which is practicing, thinking about her father, like, yeah, the hometown, you know, it's obviously from the same place, obviously, that's very obvious. So of course they have some special hometown, you know, outside the walls, right? You know, as with Annie. So yeah, we know that from the first episode because they attacked from outside, of course. Yeah, and then they slipped in, as they mentioned, as you mentioned, that it was slipped in because they don't have any backstory for us, you know, before the 5 years, you know, before they managed to slip in during the chaos. That is pretty much where I think they even. I don't think I ever said it in the manga. No. This is just my theory. Pretty much implicitly said it in the manga, I guess, but not more much than we know on the anime. So this is not a spoiler or anything, but I think the only real reason why they even broke the wall in the first place is so they could slip in and start living as, you know, normal, you know, humans in this place, something like that. It's something like that, yeah. I have zero memory of them ever giving or a reason why they even did the wall thing to begin with. And what we saw in this episode, the same in the manga thing. I think they never talked about that. Why they actually did that thing. So I think or, you know, except what you saw, it's like, yeah, they don't have any backstory, they don't have any families, they're from somewhere else outside, you know, yeah. So they were like, okay, yeah. So that's confirmed there in the anime. And, you know, obviously it's pretty good, yeah, pretty good. So this we find out the Reiner and Barthold is the actual colossal Titan, and the armor Titan, of course, and is the whatever Titan, right? And of course they also see that we can escape now potentially, because they can take Ymir now, as Barthold grab Ymir, right? So they can get that thing. And obviously, that thing was kind of based on episode back, with Reiners like interrogating Ymir. He's like, I recognize you, and so on. And he can, of course, get the flashback when he's bitten. Remember being Marcel being eaten by Ymir, and he's like, can it be her? And then, of course, it's like, oh, it is her! You fucking bitch, you killed my best friend! You know, yeah, that kind of thing, right? So obviously they can be like, let's grab Ymir and get that by power. Get her Titan power, yeah. So it's like, that makes sense to me. So I mean, I don't think this is horrible shit, but that makes sense to me in an episode by being like the base story. But he said, I wish those Armin said something like that, because even though he's so deep on the cover, it's kind of weird. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna say everything now, Barthold. It's like, what? Why? It's like, meh. You know, the fact that could have been a little better presented. Why, like, things that nothing is actually pushing him. So I think it's actually pretty bad now when it comes to mental stage, right? Because nothing's actually pushing him out of this kind of mental bubble. So it's kind of weird, you know, oh, where am I good, am I evil, kind of thing, you know what, oh, should we eat these humans, whatever, right? And it's like, fuck it. You know, it would be better if someone's like, Armin prefer them, be like, you know, yeah, I remember the female Titan, like, you know, something, right? That would be like pushing him, why do you say that, Armin? Do you know something, Armin? Like that, and it's like, that would be much better, I think that's a big, but why there's a big, why I feel it's a big like, I'm looking for some kind of this, I don't know, like this dissonance, I don't know, yeah, like, I don't know what I want to say here, but it feels like it's a little weird, right? It's just weird that it suddenly snaps there, with nothing actually triggering him. If he snapped earlier when he saw Ymir, or he did Eren as possible, if he snapped earlier when he was on the ground, with like Ymir, Eren getting here, he's like grabbed the Ymir and, you know, grab Eren, it's like, yeah, fuck it out. That would be better as well. So it's just weird. I think it's just weird. It's the same in the manga, nothing with the enemies actually. It's just weird. I think their story now. Anyway, the episode otherwise just was pretty good. Like the pacing was good. They were really the reveal itself I like. So I like the reveal itself. They are the bad guys. And actually, it's kind of interesting because I heard people talking about it years back, and they were like, "Look at it here. It's kind of him here." Or like that. Some people did suspect him as being that. I mean, you can read it on Reddit and so on. You can go back some, you know, years of threads and so on, way back in the manga. People did suspect that. No one's really sure, but I have to agree though, because when you think about it more, it's like Annie's in those cadets, right? Why wouldn't the other two also be that? And also potentially the fourth one, the Beast Titan, of course. So it's like, yeah, and also everyone here, everyone freaking those kids. That's one of the reasons, of course, why the kids never dies, right? So I was complaining about, like, oh yeah, see, all the you know, veterans, they always like die like flies, but the kids, they never die. It's kind of like, is Connie the Beast Titan? Yeah, it's kind of like that, right? It's like everyone is pretty Mikasa maybe, but you know. So anyway, in that sense, I wouldn't say it's predictable, but I think that. I didn't figure out when I read the manga they would be it. I kind of had some suspicion that, yeah, it might be. But as I said earlier, when the next was real, I was like, wow, are they actually? Like, I wasn't really sure that that's true or not until we saw that like 12-hour flashback thing. I was like, oh yeah, it's true. Weird. Yeah, so it's not that predictable, but that has some clues to it. I think that's good in the writing here, that it has some clues that they are them. Especially as the course go on, like he was captured by Annie, but wasn't killed, and so on. There are definitely some clues to the day he actually eats the Armored Titan. So it's good there. Barthold, however, is just kind of like the wheel, right? It's kind of following Reiner around. So, well, actually, in that sense, when you think about it, they're all together. So, yeah, if he's the people, well, that's true. Like, if you had the theory that Reiner is the Armored Titan, you would definitely suspect Barthold to be his Christian, right? Because he's always behind him, always following him. And he's long and tall and slim, so that yeah, it makes sense in that sense. But otherwise, he has like no really quotation rights, so it's kind of weird he used to be a Titan. But I think it's good. I think it's good. The set part is funny in the episode generally. The part though, when they go to the wall, knowing that they probably are, feels like it's almost doing something stupid in this anime. Like it's like you have to get them underground so you can capture them. First thing you do is like get them up to the top of the wall, where they're actually the best for them to transform and fight them on top of the wall, right? Because you can just push them down and kill them and so on. It's like, this is the absolute worst place you could take them. And you said you should not take them there, but they still did it. You just say, it's just weird. Yeah, it's just something is lacking, I think, is the whole main story. I don't like it. However, though, Mikasa, the Aquaman, you know, she's always super awesome. But that was greatly animated. And cut him in the neck there and like grabbing it. And then that was a very good scene too. When she's almost killed Barthold, and then Reiners like elbows her away, you know, and saves his friend. That was a great scene too. But that scene wasn't really good in the manga. So that was way better in the anime. They showed it better in the whole interaction and so on, right? Of course, the whole grabbing them and everything that was way better in the anime. As usually is in these animations, like when they do anime stuff, it's better than manga. Mainly I am just whining about the actual, you know, base story, right? Like this is what the author did in the manga. The anime is the same thing. But I wish they could have changed it a little, like it was. They had a chance to iterate, you know, okay, the manga did this, let's just do this also. Like, that has Armin taught in first, so something is like more, in my opinion, this makes more sense. But I mean, I don't know, it's a good, I think it's a pretty good episode. It's, the Sasha part is good, the payday was good, the Hashi part is good, the Armin part where he read that stuff and so on, talking about it. That was good, there was like, the short was flashback, but the flashback were pretty efficient there. They were like, I remember the arm thing. I remember he was the one talking to me. So yeah, I think it was pretty good. Like they had some flashback, but they were very short, very to the point. They didn't do like, you know, okay, let's do like a 5-minute flashback here, the whole scene. They did like 30 second there, 30 second there, 5 second there, you know. So that was good. It's actually very good use of like to kind of remember these things, especially because that was like 4 years ago. So they were actually very good. They had like a few bits every now and then just during that scene there, so you could remember the whole you know, thing, right, pretty much. When I read in the manga, that was pretty, you know, it's after, so I was like pretty much in my head there. But I see if any only watcher, ever since for 4 years, definitely need that. This animation is way too long. And actually just write something in her hand though. I don't have to go into that more detail maybe in the anime, but in the manga at least there's a page where you actually can even see his writing in her hand, like during this revelation of like already actually on Titan. So it might be coming later in the anime, like the next episode, or they might not do it, because they had that scene, which I top one be that, which like her hand is like, you know, smoking, you know, of the healing of, I don't know, sun energy. I think it's sun energy, okay, but it's never confirmed in the manga. I think it's sun energy. That is my theory. And it's like, you see that smoking from her hand, right, like it's healing. She's looking at it, an Armin commands that. But I think in the manga, that scene, they actually had her looking at it, and we as a viewer, need to actually read what it said, like, so kind of, Aaron is that direction, like that over there and so on. Yeah. Well, I mean, I know that is in the manga somewhere. I think it's in this chapter in the manga. Maybe the next chapter, which would then be in anime. Potentially. I'm a little sure, because that's exactly the same. Like, the exact same scene, but just of smoke over the numbers, or like the location, the letters and the numbers. So a little unsure on that. But generally, you know, that was fine. Because it was really good, yeah, that's a small thing. I have to say though, the problem with the whole story here is that if you can't spend, I don't know, 18 minutes or right, just getting to that point, and there's a pretty long recap of 3 minutes, and it felt a little padded out. But I think that the pacing wasn't actually bad. I think that the manga is actually this slow there. So it's kind of like, I don't know, but at the same time, they kind of did one episode for one chapter, right? And I do think they need to do more, to be honest. So I don't think that the pacing was bad, but I feel that it feels like they should do maybe like 2.5 chapters per episode, 2 at least. Yes, chapters are much longer in this anime, so it is hard sometimes, but like, I don't know, but it felt like they could have shortened it up a little bit, I think. You know, make it more eager and so on. I don't know, but it's fits that, because obviously it's only halfway through now. I'm thinking, wow, where did they actually will end up during this? Like, I don't even, there's no way they can resolve this arc in this 6th episode. Spoiler, sorry, but like, yeah, but this arc is really long. This arc is like, I don't know, 50 chapters. I don't remember how long it is, but it feels like, I don't remember how long it is at all, to be honest, but I feel like it probably needed at least like 20 more episodes or so to resolve this arc, I think, or at least 10 or so, but I'm just saying like 20. But at this speed, because they spent 2.5 sessions filler, his story was that was good, but it was like still really padded out, right, and so on. So it's like, yeah, I don't know, but it feels like they could have, you know, at least have, they could have been here 1 episode back at least. If you remove this as part of one, right? Koano's a little fillers as well. So that, yeah, I don't know, like they could have done it faster. And what I don't like is like the story part, even though last episode as well, I didn't mind this episode. I just felt like as last week, sometimes do add stuff just to kind of like get some time, right? They might be added like 2-3 minutes here just to get the padding out. So not bad pacing, but you still feel it's a sort of padding out, right? But the ad is never important, and that thing is annoying in this anime. If you look at like One Piece or like Dragon Ball, something kind of like some kind of shonen, and they have like this huge filler fighting arcs and everything. But usually when they do like main story things, in One Piece it can be really bad. Something like this Rosa, which is like, oh yeah, we're fighting this stone thing, Pika filler monster, it's horrible. But like sometimes, usually One Piece though, when they pad out like half-ass action parts, they pad out with like more jokes, maybe some more cool tricks and so on. Like they can add out part you kind of want to see anyway. Or some character dress and so on. But I feel that Attack on Titan is actually this anime actually do not very well. That was but I just want to say it, but I don't think they actually pad out at the correct parts. I feel that they could have padded out, as I said last week, especially last week. I really liked last week, but I feel they could have padded out more about Historia and more love between Historia and Ymir, instead of padding out like Armin and Eren getting geared up to go to the snow. That's like, so yeah, they spent too much minutes on those characters to have no relationship to the actual episode, or they actually gave you nothing. So there's some kind of jokes there that was pretty bland. There was like nothing new, right? You could have more Ymir said, or later on Ymir, so over her story, etc. Or like Reiner and Ymir, or whatever, right? So it's kind of like that. Same this week. I don't have a good example. It's generally like the Armin and Reiner could be better. Baron could be better. Mikasa, Reiner, and Barthold. That could have been better. Thinking about it, I like that scene. But think about it. They pretty much had like, I would say 2 to 3 minutes filming this episode, and they could have 3 minutes longer of fighting instead. Mikasa versus Reiner and Barthold before this form. That would be way cooler, and then they could end it on the same point, right? They could end it on the cliffhanger. But you could have more of a battle, right? If like a shonen, let's admit, if it was One Piece, they probably would add like 2 minutes to the fight instead. Like, that would be fine. So you'd rather see them have a cool fight instead of like, okay, let's pad out this conversation and just make it longer without adding any jokes or so, because you don't wanna, do the soap opera to take, like no, we don't want that. So that I think is probably this anime generally. Like, a good episode, but it could have been better for sure. So anyway, see you guys next week. Have a great day.